What's up guys, Chris here, back in another video. So I want to do a quick update on this FX-3. So there's Sony Alpha Rumors has a photo of it this morning, and I'll obviously leave a link to it down below. But let's just first get this out of the way. Sony, if this camera is actually coming out soon, Sony is absolutely killing it this year. Am I right? Am I right? They came out last year and, you know, Canon kind of smacked them in the mouth with their R5 and R6, and Panasonic came out with their S5, and you know, man. But Sony is like this year, like, you know what? We ain't coming in second place this year. Got it? We're gonna come out hitting home runs every single month. You know, you better play. You gotta pay to play. You know what I mean? So let me go down the list of some things that I've kind of noticed off this camera right off the bat. So I've got a little bit of a list here that I want to talk about this camera, and actually have it up over here. That's why I keep looking over here. But so I'm gonna bring up some just photos on here, which I normally won't do this. I'll just bring up the photos and kind of just put like little arrows and stuff like that. Let's start out with this. So it looks like there's a joystick on top. So it kind of makes me wonder just like how big the screen is on the back, and we'll talk about the screen a little bit because I do see some things about the screen. Joystick on the top. So navigating the menu could be entirely through this joystick. Now, I don't know if exactly it is a joystick, but it kind of looks like a joystick. So that's interesting. But with the joystick being there, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of wondering how big, you know, the backside of the screen is, or backside of the camera is. Obviously, there's no photos of the backside of the camera at this point, so yeah. Front dial. So you can be able to adjust. You know, you probably can set it to anything, adjust anything. So that's gonna be kind of nice. Which most of the smaller cameras, like I'm shooting on the A7C right now, it doesn't have a front dial. I kind of wish that was one thing that it did have, but it doesn't. So I'm seeing 3/4 20s on the top. So it kind of makes me think that maybe either Sony's gonna come out with a cage for this. Obviously, Small Rig and some other companies will probably coming out with a cage for this as well. This is gonna be kind of something that you know, can run and gun with, but also, you know, you could rig it out. It's gonna be. It seems like it's something that you want to rig out. This is gonna be kind of a competition, I think, in my opinion, kind of competition with the Sigma FP. Now, in my opinion, you know, from what I see on the internet, it doesn't seem like the FP did all that well. Now, obviously, most of the people that I see using the FP, they seem to be, you know, getting free copies of it to review copies and stuff like that. So I mean, that's understandable. This is a little bit different though, because Sony is going to come out with probably, you know, for a cinema camera, a really great autofocus system. So something usable for, you know, people who aren't like completely professional but still want to have professional level video out. You know what I mean? Maybe something to kind of learn on, I guess, depending on what the price tag is on this. I think if this thing's around 2,500 bucks, man, I'll tell you what, it is going to be, or hopefully it's less than that. I'm hoping that it's under 2,000, but right around $2,000. But I mean, looking at the camera itself, like I think it's going to be priced higher than the FP, which is at $2,000. And that's the FX line. Obviously, it's significantly smaller, and I think the lowest, the FX-6, is around $6,000. So I'm hoping this thing doesn't come in at $4,000, and I'm hoping because it's a 3, it's not $3,000. We'll see what the price is on it when it actually comes out. $3,000 actually kind of seems about right, to be honest with you. I'm hoping it's less than that, but $3,000 probably seems about right on this because of what, you know, 8K and all that stuff. I mean, you got to pay to have 8K at this point, you know what I mean? So I see on the front there's a function button that says 6 on it. So and then on the top there's a 1, a 2, and a 3, a 1, 2, and 3. Sorry. So I'm assuming 4 and 5 are probably down underneath, like, you know, the scroll wheel or something like that on the back. You know, like probably the trash can is 1. You know, typical Sony. So that's kind of interesting. 6 function buttons. That's pretty awesome. There could be even more than that, but that's all we can see on here. Actual camera strap holders, which I do really like. You know, there's like a little bar there on the top corners, and that's on both sides, it looks like anyway. You know, it's better than what Sony typically puts on these damn things with these little eyelets. I freaking hate them things. I don't know why, I really just don't like them things. I use the Peak Design anchors. You can't fit them through things through there, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm really happy that it does have these actual, if this is the actual camera, you know, this is just a render that I'm seeing. It's not an actual photo image of the camera. It looks like the image that, you know, you'd find on, you know, a camera store or something like that. So interesting. It's interesting. A hinge. I see a hinge for a fully articulating screen potentially. I can see kind of like 2 little like faint lines in the thing, so it looks like there's possibly a hinge there for a fully articulated screen. Sorry about this. This thing is a real pain in the ass. But anyways, hot shoe versus the location of the quarter 20 mounts, right? It makes me think that maybe Sony is going to come out with a new XLR adapter for this thing, and it's going to actually bolt right into the top of this thing. Or this is something, somebody put in the comments down there that this may be something to do with the drone that they might be having coming out, that you'll be able to kind of bolt this into the drone, which that I'm sure is going to be super expensive, but you know, through the hot shoe, you might be able to have some control over the camera through that hot shoe, through, you know, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or whatever it is that they're going to be able to control the drone with. So that is kind of cool. You know, it could be, you know, a number of different things. A lot of times Sony, when they come out with a new, totally new kind of camera, they do tend to have like something that kind of goes along with it. So maybe something along those lines. Maybe we're going to have some sort of like XLR adapter that fits. You know, they've got the K3M, K2M. I'm sure they had one before that, but that's the only ones I can find on the internet right now. But with the K3M, obviously that just goes into the hot shoe. But I'm thinking maybe, you know, to kind of secure a little bit more tighter, being that this might be some sort of run and gun film thing, that they may have made it so you could actually, you know, quarter 20 it right into the top of the camera, so that it won't move off the, you know, cinema cameras tend to be, you know, they're built to rig them up, right? So potentially that might be something I'm hoping. I'm just speculating there. So on the left side of the camera, there is two small doors, it looks like. So I'm thinking that obviously one is probably USB Type-C, headphone jack, video, or microphone jack, and then the other one is probably an HDMI. Who knows exactly what? Probably micro HDMI. Don't expect this to be a full HDMI. I'm hoping that'd be pretty badass, or maybe even a mini HDMI. But I don't think I've ever seen a Sony with a mini HDMI. And you know, it could be like an Ethernet port as well. So I highly doubt that on this camera, but you never know, because it is a cinema camera, so I mean, it's designed for video. I see a fan exhaust, so that kind of makes me think that potentially we actually are going to see some sort of, you know, high frame rate, high video quality, 8K possibly. You know, it says 8K on here, but you know, obviously that remains to be seen until we actually see the camera itself. You know, it could be, you know, an 8K sensor that's downsampled to 6K. Sony does that in pretty much all of their cameras, you know, 6K to 4K, previously to this year, I guess. Like this camera is a 6K camera, technically, the A7C, but it downsamples just to 4K. So that's interesting. It's this is a pretty badass little camera. See, I like the grip on this camera because it seems like it's going to be actually quite comfortable to hold as well. You know, kind of like an A7 III or A7 IV type grip, A7S, you know, type grip on a, you know, more squarish body. So this is kind of an exciting camera. So I've been personally trying to get a little bit more into videography. I've been doing YouTube videos for years on other channels and stuff like that. Matter of fact, I had a camera channel before this, but I've been filming some other people's videos for some different projects and stuff I've been working on. So I'm getting a lot more. I'm not thinking necessarily like A7 III, A7C anymore. I'm thinking more, you know, higher end video quality even in the future. But currently I edit with an iPad Pro. So I mean, I don't think, you know, any kind of cinema level bit rates are going to be able to, you know, go through that thing. So I'm going to need, you know, a more powerful computer, obviously, before I get too deep into it. I have put 422 10-bit. I had the Panasonic S5. I put 10-bit video through there, and it did just fine. It had no problem. I've also used the 10-bit video from the Fuji X-T4. I did just fine with that as well. Maybe it would. I mean, I'm definitely going to try it if I were to get something like this. This is going to be interesting because depending on the price, you know, if they price this right around where the A7 IV is going to be, man, I'll tell you what, folks, this may be my next camera if it actually comes out. So anyways, that's about it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.